Hi there, this is Michael Midnight with Mik Tek Studios, and based on a couple of conversations actually that I had at a business event last night, I wanted to take a second to actually go through some aspects and highlights of marketing, if you will. These are things to keep in mind no matter how large or small your business really is. And above all, it's really just a conversation. This is not going to be a crash course into how to market. It's not going to be about closing, sales, pitch, and other aspects of business altogether, but we may lean into some of those categories. With that being said, let's get started. So number one, people want to do business with who they know and what they know. Number two, marketing is not a one-time thing. Number three, customer service is key. Number four, social media and reviews are critical. All right, so for the first one, people want to do business with who they know and what they know. So this is pretty straightforward. If I don't know or I'm not familiar with your brand, your product or service, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to win over my trust in my sale. And that happens no matter how big or small the business really is. If there's a new avenue that a larger business is trying to do, let's say, for example, they have a new service in, marketing, just because I'm in that area. Let's say you have the ability to do social media marketing. If people are familiar with you doing one aspect of service in the area, they're not really going to be too familiar with another aspect, but they may be less hesitant to try out your product or service if they've actually heard of you. Now that goes as far as for any type of product or service, no matter how large or small that the business really is. This is something really critical to keep in mind. Now, those relationships that we deal with people on a daily personal basis, you go into a bank, for example, and you have a great relationship with the bank manager. If there's any problems, he'll take care of you. Or if you go into a restaurant, you have a great time because you know the manager there, or you are familiar with many of the wait staff, waiter, waitresses, and they make sure that you have a really good time and to come back again. I want to do business with them again. I like that feeling. They appreciate my time. They appreciate me as a patron. Now, when you're dealing with a business or you're dealing with potential prospects of customers, depending on which side of the spectrum that you're in, B2B or B2C, you really still want to emanate that feeling, that authenticity, that genuineness, okay? That is felt or not felt depending on what email, text message, social media responses you do or don't send. So always keep this in mind that it's very, very crucial to keep that relationship as strong as possible. Point number two, marketing is not a one-time thing. So I cannot stress how important that this point is. In many aspects of my contracts and my consulting, people will bring you on as we just need to do a little bit of design here. We just need a little bit of marketing here. We just need a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You put in a little bit, you're going to get out a little bit. It's just like any other investment. Investment in time, finances, what have you. If you have yourself a nice vehicle and you only put in a little bit of time to detail it, guess what? It's going to look like crap and you're going to be upset because you didn't put the time necessary to make it look good. Just like your house, it's going to require upkeep, maintenance, renovations. You want to build a pool, you want to have a deck. This is your business, okay? This is your baby. You want it to grow big and strong like any other organism on this planet that we like. Aside from cancer, we want to kill that. But anyway, with that being said, it's not just a one-off thing. Just because you have a great flyer that goes out during the holidays or an email campaign that did well over the summer, your business is a 24/7 year-long machine, okay, that requires constant marketing. And if you're not on the tip of the tongue of your potential prospects or client base, they're going to forget. Reach out. Make sure people know who you are in the community. Make sure that you have an About Us or social media that you're taking advantage of, videos, getting to know what it is you're about, what you do. Just keep in mind that marketing is not a gimmick. It is a critical, vital aspect that every company should have somebody dedicated to doing at least the social media and at least the digital marketing aspects. These are critical to keep people coming back, and especially to refresh content. When you see all this content that's generated and trending on social media, if it looks generic and it's non-authentic, guess what? People are not going to want to interact with you. If it's spelled wrong, if you have videos that don't have correct spelling or people don't know what they're talking about, guess what? It's a turnoff. I don't want to do business with people who I don't think have my best interests in mind, or they may not know what they're talking about, because that could be my marketing that's going to represent me or my product or my service. And I definitely don't want to be represented that way. So marketing is absolutely key. All right, number 3, customer service is key. So we were just talking about marketing being key, but customer service is super, super important, okay? I cannot tell you how many bad reviews that I see with companies and they don't exactly know how to market. How do I market? I don't understand. Or they have no reviews. You're doing a cleaning service, or you're a lawyer, or you're an auto body repair place, and you have no reviews, or maybe you have 15 reviews in the same day and they're all 5 stars. It's going to look questionable. I don't want somebody who I feel like is going to scam me. I want to know that other people have had great experiences too. And we all do this as customers now. Everybody that I know reviews a product, a service, or a company before they buy, try, hire, or apply for employment. That's just how it works. And nobody really wants to work with a product or service that they can't pitch. I've never been successful pitching a product or a service that I did not wholly believe in, or I did not think was going to be in the benefit of the consumer, the customer, or the client, or even the business when it's a B2B, okay? At the end of the day, that is critical. Really just being warm and welcoming in all aspects of all platforms, whether it be email, social media, texting, calling, being prompt and cordial. In this day and age, you're not gonna make it. People will let other people know on social media, and it just takes one firestorm, and that's it, man. It's starting from square one. And nobody really likes doing that. So keep that in mind. Customer service is key. Treat everybody with respect, be decent, but also know that there's just going to be certain people that you really can't make happy no matter what you do. And at the end of the day, just like in Roadhouse, which is one of my favorite movies, just be nice. Not asking you to do anything else, just be nice. Patrick Swayze, great guy. All right, and last but not least, as we've kind of already touched base on this, is the social media and reviews being critical. So in this day and age, it's almost impossible to not have a business that is not apparent and interacting with their customers, client base on any of the social media platforms. It's just something you got to do at this point. If you don't have content, find it, buy it, get somebody working on it. That is the whole aspect of having somebody dedicated as a marketing expert. Your marketing represents you, just like a resume represents a candidate. That is me, that is you, that is somebody else being represented on a piece of paper, on an ad, on a bulletin, on a postcard, anything. That represents what we are about. With the reviews, telling potential customers what your company is really about from a fresh set of eyes. Now, this could be good or bad. You may see, and as I have, quite a few negative reviews that people will really try to hold a company hostage. You really see this more in app development as well. I didn't really like the way this app worked. It should have done this. I will change my 2-star review to 4 if you do this for me. That's not really what we're trying to do here. You had your time as a product or service to be able to engage, to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And it's a give or take on both sides of the business transaction. If a customer is not clear with their wishes or their desires, how do you expect the company to fulfill what it is that they set out to do? And vice versa. If a customer really wants something and this is what they want, and a company's not really clear about how they're going to give it, deliver it, whether it's going to be an actual product, digital delivery, they retain the original files, whatever the conversation is, make sure those statements of work and make sure those proposals are clear as day. That way it's easier for everybody. Okay, but I digress a little bit, coming back to the reviews. If there are negative reviews, it's a great time to show how you are as a company to engage those reviews. As an owner, if I see somebody, you know what, I apologize how it went down. We did have somebody working on XYZ. We're working to make sure, however it is that you need to word it to let people know, hey, we're taking care of that situation. If you could personally reach out to that customer who felt slighted or felt like the work wasn't up to standard enough to leave a negative review or a product or a service, talk to them. Chances are they're going to make your business 10 times better if they are a legitimate customer and not just nagging or complaining because they wanted something they couldn't get it, and you could probably make that happen. They didn't even know it. So a beautiful thing about reviews, especially negative reviews, they help your company grow. Just like social media, you may get people interested in things that they didn't realize that you have as a product or service if they didn't see your ad or your post on Facebook or Instagram or any of the other wonderful things. And that about wraps it up as far as for the highlight points that I did want to sort of touch over today based on many of the conversations that I was having last night. So just keep in mind, these are experiences that I have had. you'll know definitively what your product, your business, or your service is going to need a little bit better than I do. But just know that if you're not really focusing as much into marketing as you have been, chances are it may be a little bit easier than you think. This has been Michael Midnight with Mik Tek Studios, game graphic and design services, www.miktek.tv, signing off. Thanks, guys.